Hey, it is your girl ChayilChanda from ChayilChanda.com, and I'm actually considering booktubing. So, to get started, I am just going to do the booktube tag that I've seen on a few different channels out here that I actually love to watch. So, it's 11 questions. We're just going to go through the questions and start there, okay? Question number 1 is, why did you start this channel? So this channel is not going to be dedicated only to booktubing. This is kind of my catch-all channel, but I do want to start including the fact that I have become an avid reader again. I used to be before, and now it's one of those things that I do every day again. So I kind of want to make sure that I include that part of my life on this channel too. Question number 2 is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to booktube? I think the most unique thing that I've seen in comparison to the channels that I enjoy watching is the fact that I am on a no book buy year. I think so far this year I purchased 2 books, and they've been books that I have been like drawn to because somebody that I trust has recommended it, or I wanted to actually own the book versus going to the library or using the book apps that I use to read. So I'm on a no book buy year, so you won't get a whole lot of me purchasing books. We'll do some library hauls and things like that. We'll definitely go through the apps that I use to read, but you won't get a bunch of book buying from me. And I'm also more minimal. I'm not a stuff type person, and so I don't want to have this space filled with a ton of books, because while I love to read, I don't see the value in keeping them if I'm not going to read them again. So that'll be something unique in comparison to the things that I've seen from the booktubers that I love to watch. Question number 3. What are you most excited about for this channel? I should say I'm most excited for this type of content, just to be able to kind of talk about the books that I read and have someone to kind of talk about them with. My sister's an avid reader like I am, so we can talk about books, but there's not a whole lot of people that I'm surrounded by that reads as much as I do. For years I didn't read because I kind of gorged myself out of reading, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But now that I'm back at it and I'm enjoying it, I kind of just want to have a place where I can share that part of my life. Question 4 says, why do you love reading? I love words. I love the creativity behind the words, and the creativity that goes into writing the words. I'm a writer as well, so I just enjoy the creativity that goes into creating these characters and these scenarios and these worlds, and all of that just kind of intrigues me, and I'm really really attracted to the words, and just, you know, everything that can come out of a book. The fact that you fall in love with these characters that technically don't exist, or even like, because I like autobiographies too, hearing a person tell their story, because I like to read autobiographies on Audible. So yeah, I love reading because it gives me an escape, and I love being able to experience other people's worlds. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? When I was a kid, it would be the Sweet Valley Twins series. That was the series I read like in middle school. And then, of course, as I got older, I started reading Sweet Valley High. I think in elementary school, it was it Ramona and Beezus? I think that's the name of like the little girl I used to read. And then Encyclopedia Brown in elementary school. So yeah, growing up, I was into those types of books. Now, I think I got back into reading for fun last year. What did I read? I'll have to insert it because I can't remember what it was that kind of made me realize that I missed reading. I'm going to go to my Goodreads and find the book that made me realize that I miss reading for fun, because I had started reading only for personal development and for business, and I kind of gorged myself out on reading. And then I can't remember what it was, but I read something, and it was just a quick, fun read, and I loved it. And since then, I've kind of got my way back into reading again, and I'm enjoying it. Number 6 says, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Girl, how do you afford all the books you buy? Because books are expensive. Oh my God, books are expensive. So I decided this year, especially because I made a reading goal for myself using Goodreads for the first time. And I said that I was going to read what I already own. I own so many books already. Boxes of books in my basement. Lots of books on my Kindle. I'm a part of Kindle Unlimited. Lots of audio books on Audible that I've purchased and have not listened to. So I kind of decided that this year I'm going to shop my stash. And then I also got a library card last year. And so I used the Libby app and Hoopla app to read books as well. So I guess the question would be, yeah, that. And then how do you manage your reading time? I know some booktubers who read 20 and 30 books a month. That is like goals, okay? I wish. I work a full-time job. I'm a wife. I'm a mom, a business owner. So I would love to know how you manage your time so that you can read more words. Question number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think for me, it's definitely going to be the time management piece. Again, this is not going to be a solely booktube channel. It'll be a good part of the channel where I'll be talking about the things that I'm reading and why I'm reading them. But I think for me, it's going to be the time management piece. Right now, I'm averaging about 4 to 5 books a month. And so, of course, I do want to read more and I want to be able to share more with you. But right now, the biggest challenge is probably going to be the time management piece and actually getting the reading done, recording the videos, editing the videos and all of that. So I'm excited to get started, but I do know that that's going to be a challenge. Question number 8 says, when did you start reading? I was a kid. I loved reading when I was little. Elementary school, going to the library at school, and then going to the library with my mom. I fell in love with words. My dad was a writer, so he was a wordsmith too. So I fell in love with reading when I was young, and then I fell in love with reading again last year, 2023, when I started reading for fun again. So now I read both for personal development and growth, but I also make sure that I'm reading books that I enjoy reading just because I want to read them and not because I'm trying to just learn something from them or I'm trying to grow a part of my life or business or ministry. So reading for fun started again in 2023, and I'm excited to be back. Question 9 is, where do you read? Right now I'm in my office. I spend a lot of time in my office. I work my 9 to 5 from home here in my office, and then of course I work my business and ministry here in my office, so I do a lot of reading in my office. I read in my car when I am driving. I'm usually listening to a book, unless my sons are in the car with them. Even when they're in the car, I find a book that I know they'll enjoy listening to as well. So we'll listen to a book together sometime. I love to read or listen to audiobooks when I get in the tub because I love a good bath. So I'll read in the tub. I'll read anywhere. Books are on my Kindle. On my iPad and on my phone. I always keep my iPad. My iPad goes everywhere I go. So I can read anywhere. Anywhere I get a moment, I'll pull my iPad out and start reading. Number 10 says, what types of books do you like to read? Reading for fun, I'm into mostly romance novels. I like fantasy. I've gotten into some fantasy earlier this year that I really liked. I do like to read personal development books, books that are going to grow my mind and grow my mindset. But I'm mostly a romance mostly romance. I do read some fantasy, but mostly romance is what I prefer. The final question is, what does your book collection look like? right now it looks like a mess because I only have a few books that I keep in my office because my office is not a huge space. I have a ton of books in my basement in the storage room in boxes that I just never unboxed when we moved in our home a couple years ago. I have books, I think, in the garage in boxes that I haven't unboxed since we moved in our home. So my book collection, for the most part, the most organized book collection is on my iPad, which is the Kindle app and the Audible app, because those are the books that I kind of I'm drawn to the most. Those are the books that I'm reading the most. So yeah, I do most of my reading either on an app. I haven't read a physical book in a minute because I usually just read on my iPad or my phone or even on my laptop. I'll be reading a book on the Kindle app on my laptop as well. So those are the 11 questions to kind of get me started with booktubing. I'm interested to see where this goes. If you made it this far in the video, I want you to comment a book emoji below and let me know what type of books you like to read. I am interested to learn and grow from you as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.